Alrighty.
That Chucklehead Johnson off this page. Anyway. There we go. Chucklehead Johnson off.
I got broadcast.
There we go.
Oh, he'd call Scott and Chucklehead to his face.
Yeah.
It got broadcast.
Oh, hey, we can hear you. No echo.
Yay! No bunny
And
men.
Yeah.
No, I can hear you. Oh, hey, we can hear you. No echo.
I can hear you hearing us.
Yeah, I know. That's because I have it on my desktop speakers. Thank God. All right.
So people can hear and see us and such?
I will find out. Let me switch back to...
On the channel, tell them let us know.
Oh, Seema.
Okay, yes, Seema can hear us. Awesome.
Yeah. That's right.
Go ahead and talk, Mew.
I am saying things in my deeper voice because I have been dealing with allergies.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone can hear me. And come on, Discord page.
Mew's deeper voice is not being echoed. Awesome.
Yay.
Then why, Heather, why are you flipping off the camera?
Why not? When I enter my middle
not?
finger, I'm going to just naturally flip off the camera.
Okay.
I feel attacked.
Right? I need a healer. Also, if somebody does blood magic in that bathroom, I'm screwed. Because there was a...
Seema's a healer, but you'd have to log into Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, you're a healer, and... I mean, the medicine kit worked okay.
Yeah. I just used my healer's kit.
You're in luck. I'm a healer in every game, even the ones that don't have healers, like check.
Yeah. Well, I may be a healer in this story mode in Overwatch too. We'll have to see how that plays out. Because I love me some Lucio. So.
Amp it up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, AIE Guild is now hosting you, Mew.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Yay.
Right. Okay.
I had the power to push that button.
Yay!
Is it Kenny with the power? I would like to
What
say,
power?
Kenny, I got the pie for tomorrow night done before I injured myself.
Yes. Which was good.
Stop injuring yourself.
That's never gonna happen.
At least I didn't burn my ass with tea.
No, this is true.
All right. Everything looks good.
All right.
No, dropped.
And I know it's an odd
frames.
question, but how's my color? Because I can change the light if I need to. But
You
is the
look good.
okay? Because I just want to make sure. Because I can do, vampire. No.
I look,
party.
So that's good.
Yeah. Excuse me.
All right, we'll go with the
how
warm.
dare you?
Yeah.
I am a little yellow.
No, I think that's your back wall. Yeah. Seema says she still can't see, so let us know when you're gonna pop
Oh, yeah,
the video
yeah.
live.
Yeah, I'll switch over to full Discord screen. And then tell Discord to go full screen.
Discord.
Yeah.
Okay, Discord, give me the button that lets me go to full. Please?
Button. Who's got the button?
There we
Yeah.
go. Maybe? Wait. No, that's just the... It's because of the streamer mode.
Oh.
There we go.
Well, don't break anything with the audio.
This time again.
Yep. Eek. There. Kenny can sit on top of the AIE logo.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Sparrow, the thing started.
So how do we look, viewers at home?
All right. Seema, let us know when you can see us.
You
Hear
wanna-
us.
Mm-hmm. Well, she said she can hear us. She just couldn't
Yes.
see us. So
What? This is so confusing why it does that.
yeah,
All right,
she can
and
see us.
we are viewable.
Viewable.
Let's see. Where am I? I'm over here.
Oh my God!
ahead.
Why is that when I sit down to podcast, I suddenly get exhausted? Oh wait, I'm always exhausted. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say. This is new. How?
I'm going by Dankinia. No, it doesn't. Why does that not look right to me?
What?
It looks like Dankinia.
You can just do Kenny if you want. Kini.
There, that looks a little better. Yeah. It just looked weird on here. Peek. Nope. Over here. Go over here. And little icon, you can go down there. And are we going by Sparrow?
Yeah, Sparrow works.
Not Sparrow.
Anybody ever called you anything else, I'd be confused.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think Lars's confusion was he meant Kiki.
And thought it was Kenny. Yeah.
That's what I figured it was.
Yeah. And the reason we didn't invite you was because it was Friday night, and I know you had plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had MFN.
Yep.
Exactly. All right. That looks good, Mew.
Cool.
All right. Should we get the shenanigans on? Who's leading this?
That's me, the one that's sitting here yawning.
Pwah!
Okay.
How about that? Is that too crazy? Too crazy.
You cut off Kenny's head. No.
Off of their head.
There you go. That looks good.
Wouldn't be the first time someone had tried that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
right.
we got a lot to go through, so
Okay.
whenever you are ready.
All right. Going live. Ready?
Yup.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
Get out with Outer Worlds.
There may be some Blizzard news.
Just a little. Get ready to raid for the craft fair.
Onslaught is amazing.
And we have Dankinia and Sparrow here to talk to us about ESO, probably some falling out of things, and fishing.
Always fishing when Sparrow's around. All that and more coming up right now. Welcome to episode 322 of the podcast celebrating you, the Aaliyah Octa-esque gaming community. The Die Has Been Podcast. I am Makala. To my left and downstairs is Tetsemi.
Many new spreadsheets. Many new spreadsheets.
You're going to need spreadsheets to figure out what you're going to play next. And to our right and a few states over is Mewcow.
Greetings, guildies.
Mewcow's voice is brought to you by allergies.
Indeed.
This week we're joined by special guests Dankinia and Sparrow, who are here to talk to us about AIE and ESO. And if I know these guys, there's going to be some Fallout chat too. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and dig into ESO in a little while, but let's go and find out what we've been doing in and out of game. Let's go ahead and go alphabetically because that's who I am. Dankinia, what have you been up to?
Well, Monday nights I still play in a D&D with some awesome people, and we're doing really well with that. Killed a big bad thing and made it back to town, and it's pretty good. Also been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls, of course, and Fallout 76, because the event is ongoing right now where you get to run around and blow things up, and it's...
And I hear clicking right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
By
might be shooting
right-
a few goals.
By right now, do you mean actually literally right now at the start of the hour?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to let you get to that until we're ready for you, my dear. Mew, what have you been doing in and out of game?
Oh, all kinds of crazy stuff. So we had, of course, Halloween, as everyone's well aware. And it was the first Halloween in the house and us not being at BlizzCon. Sad, yes, but we actually got to celebrate Halloween at home, which was weird. So we decorated the house all nice and cool. We have some pictures somewhere. And of course, a little boy kept insisting, we need more decorations. We need more decorations. We need more decorations.
I know your wife. She doesn't actually need him to press her along to do that.
No. Well, actually, he was feeding me.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So, and it actually was kind of cool. We actually ended up having sort of a spider theme. We didn't. Yeah. At first, it didn't seem like it, but then I was like, "Oh yeah, this looks cool. Oh, and this looks cool." And we looked at it, "Oh yeah, this is all spider stuff." So,
Great.
So yeah, it was neat, and we had purple and orange, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was his first like real, true trick or treating, door to door Halloween too. Mrs. Mew took him all around. That was pretty cool.
Great.
And then today we went to the Celtic Festival in Austin. So that was pretty cool.
Can I pause you for a second?
I was waiting for that.
Fun fact: Celtic is a triggering word for me. So can we say Celtic, please, before you hurt my brain?
We can say Celtic, yes.
Thank you.
They were saying it both ways at the festival. It was very confusing.
Anyways, sorry.
What was not confusing was all the neat wolfhounds, which is the main reason we went. Mrs. really wants a wolfhound, as those that know her well know. And unfortunately, I was hoping they were going to have it was Celtic animals, but they only had dogs.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd had some of the cats too, but
no cats. See?
No. So they said that maybe next year the rescue might look into getting some of the cats out there. But lots of different dogs of all kinds of Celtic breeds. Of course, the wolfhounds were the most obvious because they're huge. They're like people walking around almost in size, and then in some of the smaller terriers and whatnot were out there. In game. I don't know if we'll end up talking about it, perhaps, since we did talk about it at the top. Playing a lot of Outer Worlds, which is, I know they say don't say it, but it is Fallout in space. It really is. And I've been really enjoying that. And other than that, just various events in games like the Final Fantasy stuff. They had their usual Halloween events. Gave out a neat looking airy man or weird little giant eyeball flying dude with a little witch's hat. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I've been all over the place as usual, but that's the long and short of it.
All right, Sparrow, what have you been doing in and out of game?
I've been discovering that you can do fishing in games that don't have fishing.
Really?
That's my big. Yeah, Fallout's got waterborne creatures, so I just go hunt them and call it fishing.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's pretty much the most Sparrow thing ever.
Outside of game, it was my last year to take a kid trick-or-treating. 14 years straight, this was the last one.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm sad or excited yet. Well,
Yeah. All right, and chat, what about you? I mean, besides all the games.
Yeah. So I actually have been spending a little bit more time in SOTOR than WoW, mainly because of the 6.0 release. SEMA, I'm not sure how, but somehow I have 475s already, and I'm working on my 75 because it just seems to go really fast to level everything up, which is nice. So apparently I'm going to get the 8 base classes to 75 and then start working on the armor grind if it still catches my attention, but I'm having fun leveling in there. Watched a lot of the BlizzCon stuff while I was doing the SOTOR stuff. So, a little multitasking there. And I've been working on getting my neck to 70 in WoW. I have, I think, 4% left to go. So we're going to do some islands tonight for raid. So if anyone wants to hop on and do islands, feel free. That should tick me over and get that to 70, and then I can quit doing that grind until 8.3 releases. And the rest of my characters are just going to sit there until 9.0 releases, because with the level squish that's coming that we'll talk about, it's going to make Mew and our alt Ida so much better.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah, it's up until they finally started talking about that. It's just the desire to alt just felt too daunting.
Yeah, but now with the changes that we'll talk about, it looks really fun. So that's what I have been up to. what have you been up to, McCullough?
I'm trying to roll dice as much as I can, of course. So we had Monday game this week. We unfortunately did not end up. I did not play Thursday because it was Halloween, though I probably should have, because literally we didn't do anything for Halloween. Because ours is too old to go trick or treating. She went out with her friends, and game got canceled for today just because we had 2 people with stuff going on. See, I had some fun ghost adventures last week. Vicella and I went to Bisbee, which is a ghost town up here, and stayed at a haunted hotel, did the ghost tour, did have a few incidents, and then went over to Tombstone for the afternoon, so that was a good time. We have been dealing with a kitten who got fixed on Tuesday, and she thinks everything is awful. So that has taken a lot of energy. But the big thing that happened is Lars was in town this week. We got to spend Friday evening with him, have him over to the house, watch a little bit of the BlizzCon stuff, talked a lot, enjoyed food. So that was a big thing because, anyone knows me knows that we love entertaining and I love having guilties in town. So that was a blast. Oh, and my bestie and I may have premiered our Victorian Aziraphale and Crowley costumes for a photo shoot the other day. So that's going to be I
did see that.
Probably our con. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. So that's going to be our con thing going forward.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw what looked like a casual version of it that maybe you were testing.
Yeah, that was in Bisbee. So yeah, we did the casual versions in Bisbee, and then we did the formal version. That's going to be probably our Saturday of con outfits because it looks great, it's stunning, and it needs no corsetry.
It's comfy.
And if anyone's ever seen me at a con, that is what I need because I may have almost passed out a few times due to corsetry.
There was one Nerdtacular and a fainting couch.
Yep, we found out what fainting couches were for. All right, so that's what I've been up to, and we're going to dig into ESO in just a few minutes. But let's go over this week's news, and there is a lot of it. Kenny, also, you might have some spots in the news, so make sure that you're aware of that.
Okay, I'm here.
All right.
AIE News.
All right, we're going to go ahead and give you an update on mandatory fun night times. Remember, when it comes to mandatory fun night, the fun is mandatory, attendance is not. Sunday, STO, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So in 15... No, it already happened. What's that? No, in 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We're weird. We don't change. Monday, Guild Wars 2, 9:30 Eastern Time. Saturday, SOTOR, 8 o'clock max time. Wednesday, Final Fantasy XIV, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And Friday, of course, ESO, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, and that's with Kenny. Friday, Final Fantasy XIV, late night, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday, LOTOR, 8:30 Eastern Time. And Saturday, New Braid again. Kenny, wow, at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And in streaming and guild podcast news, SOTOR Escape Podcast 314, Onslaught Unleashed. Onslaught is, wait for it, it's a game changer.
Game changer.
And in SOTOR Escape Podcast 314, Gears of Star Wars, patch 6.0 has some fixes, still some bugs out in the wild, and the gear progression tips and tricks. Thanks for Team Unmaxed for their hard work on the SOTOR Escape Podcast. And of course, in Working Class Nerds, episode 56, Holly Fields. Nick and Marcus got the chance to interview Holly Fields, the world-renowned voice actress and voice of Nadia Grief. Hopefully you'll enjoy the episode as much as they enjoyed recording it. You can find Holly, by the way, on Twitter at HollyFields1 and on Instagram under Holly_Fields1.
And in Nomads, play Outer Worlds, the best Fallout of recent years. I'm sure we'll get into a discussion of that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Diablo 4 was announced at BlizzCon, and it's a much darker version of Diablo, more like Diablo 2 in tone and graphic play. It'll also be open world, so much so that you'll need mounts to travel through the world.
Excellent.
There's a hub city where you can meet other players, show off your armors and weapons, as well as a PvP area.
It looks fantastic.
Don't expect it anytime soon. The BlizzCon quote was, "It's not coming soon. It's not even coming Blizzard soon. We're working on it."
Hey, I'd rather it be released when it's done instead of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, and in WoW news.
So in New Braid in WoW, we are now 7 of 8 of Eternal Palace, which is really awesome. We're having a lot of fun with that. But there is an anniversary event that starts on Tuesday. So New Braid is going to put aside its Eternal Palace runs and do the anniversary event LFR next Saturday night.
Awesome.
So if you've never joined New Braid and you'd like to get in on that, by all means, please let us know in game. I start sending out invites about 15 minutes before 11 p.m. Eastern. We form up and we go, and it's a lot of fun.
Is the best way to to whisper you in game or via Discord, or what's the best way to track you down?
To get the
#RiskKinney.
To get the invites, just usually I will put out a message in guild chat that I'm sending out invites, and then people either whisper me or they put a message in guild chat or however. If you have any questions about it ahead of time, though, Discord works great. Just ping me there, and I'll get back to you.
Awesome.
And in BlizzCon wrap-up news, new expansion, it's titled, and of course, it's a surprise to everyone, Shadowlands.
Wait, not Shadowbringer? Oh, wait, no, that's Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. But speaking of getting people started, it was also kind of interesting to see just how annoyed Blizzard was at all the spoilers.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
the
they
leaks.
were.
They just leaned way into it. They weren't happy
Yeah.
about all of it, but it was kind of funny to watch. But they announced it. It's up for pre-sale. You get some goodies if you do the pre-sale. There are 3 tiers this time around, so read carefully on what's in each.
Yep.
The biggest change is that you can actually get a cheaper version than usual if you don't want the character boost. I think that's the big thing. So if you don't need that...
Or the mount.
Yeah, you get nothing. You just get the game, which is great for some people that don't have alts. Anyway.
So not you two.
Yeah, no, not us.
No, not us.
No, that level boost is going to be very handy.
Yeah.
Speaking of level boosting, the level squish is coming. And anyone at 120... will become level 50, and that's the new top until Shadowlands hits, where you'll go from 50 to 60. They still like that 10 level progression. in whatever's new. Levels 1 through 10, you can have a choice now. You can do the level or the race specific starting area, or you can level in the new level 1 to 10 zone. That's a updated version of things that they're finally acknowledging that if you go through things the way they currently have it set up, you're kind of doing this wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey thing where you're all over the place. They called it the War Chief Shuffle.
Yes.
Because at one moment, Thrall's the War Chief, or maybe it's Zul'jin, or maybe it's Garrosh, or maybe it's Sylvanas. Yeah, so...
Or maybe it's a basic campfire.
Yeah. Yeah, no, basic campfire 2020. But yeah, so you have the choice now. You can do it the way it was, go through your race one, or you can go through the new one, which is where everyone gets dumped into. All races and classes get dumped into this new world, except for the Dark Knights. Dark Knights are getting an updated one too, because their starting area is a little outdated.
Yeah.
Once you are level 10, you're going to visit Chromie, and she's going to give you the choice of which expansion you want to stay in, because level 10 to 50 is going to be in that expansion. So if you choose Miss Pandaria, 10 to 50 is in Pandaria, with the option to move to another expansion if you get bored. However, you will start at the beginning of the story of that expansion. So you're allowed to hop around, but they're not going to let you hop around to the middle. Like you need to start from the beginning. But that's kind of a cool thing. It's going to be an alt is going to have a fully coherent story for once, which is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of which, your first character to go through Shadowlands will do all the zones, But once you finish the story, any new alts will start with endgame content unlocked already. So they can jump around to all the zones they want. And they can choose the faction that they're going to be representing and start progressing through it immediately, which is kind of awesome. So they're actually thinking about that. They're acknowledging the fact that there's a single player behind all of these alts, and giving you the chance of, you don't feel like you're having to catch up for 10 levels. It's, I'm already working on my endgame stuff, which is pretty awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And if you want to read a ton of good write-ups, words are hard, go to Blizzard Watch, and they have a whole section there. It's the BlizzCon 2019 Roundup.
Awesome. And in WoW Classic news, reminder, the craft fair is Sunday, November 17th. We're still looking for donations, gatherers, and helpers for the fair. Contact Nevermore in the WoW Classic channel, in Discord, or in game. And speaking of the craft fair, on Sunday, November 10th, from 1 p.m. server time until they're done, Tinchell is organizing a craft fair mats raid to begin at Camp Tarajo in the Southern Barrens. We need lots of light and medium leathers, so we'll sweep both sides of the Gold Road. This works best if you have tanks killing and looting with skinners falling behind for cleanup. Depending on the tank strength, a skinner/healer would also be welcome. Please comment. Please let Tinchell know with your abilities in Discord if you can attend. The Camp Tarajo plan is to work all the way around Razorfin Crawl, whacking pigmen as well as beasts. Then to the other side of the Gold Road, starting up with the exhibition sites, and all the way up to the Northern Barren to find harpies, kolkars, more pigmen and beasts, and more beasts. So basically, they're going to go kill the beasts.
Yep.
If there are enough raiders, the plan is to split the areas up. We should be able to gather as much leatherworking mats, and anyone who wants to pick flowers, lots in Briarthorn or mine, can pick and dig undisturbed. Come on, come one, come all. Tinchell's Craft Fair Bank will also be at Ratchet to accept the leatherworking mats. So, hope to see you all at Camp T on the 10th.
And in SOTOR news, Onslaught is now live and has really been a game changer. There's that word again. The new gearing system is in full swing.
You just said than me.
Yeah. Each piece of new gear you acquire is bind to legacy, so as your main gear is up, your alts can equip the discards. In most situations, loot's determined according to your gear level, so alts don't have to start over at point 0. It's a pretty deep system that will grow in complexity and variation at in-game gear level, but for simple vertical gearing, it's easy to understand and be successful at it. Leveling from 70-75 can be accomplished through the story and doesn't take long at all, like literally a couple hours and you're done, if that. By the end of the story, you will have full 268 gear in every slot, and you will get the new there's also a new item slot that they give you, and you'll get a piece to equip in there as well. Equip every upgrade you get, so the gearing system gives you more upgrades. And the tactical, thank you, Seema. You get new tacticals that go in that tactical slot. And the nice thing is they updated the user interface so that on the gear piece icon in your inventory, it will indicate whether it's an upgrade for you or not. There are some cases where, if it's a significant gear upgrade as far as item level, but it's not your piece that you want in that slot because it has defense as opposed to alacrity, or alacrity as opposed to accuracy, or something like that, you're generally better off equipping it anyway, unless you're raiding, or even if you're raiding, just because that will increase your overall gear level and you'll get higher drops based on that. So just be judicious with that. The launch did go very smoothly with only one server restart about an hour after launch. Not to say there haven't been bugs like Imperial travel option that landed you in the public base. Yeah, that was fun. Or the bug where the group finder puts your 8-person team into a 16-person operation.
Oh my goodness.
Hard mode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they ran into that in the Tuesday mandatory fun night on launch day. So yeah, that wasn't fun. Crafting and crew skills also got a bit of an overhaul. Crafting is truly not for the faint of hearts this time around. And even though it was tweaked somewhat after feedback on the public test server, it's still not, players can purchase the HK55 chapter from the cartel market. Gives you access to a special chapter of gameplay and then account-wide access to HK55 as a companion, which I will be picking up and doing once I'm done with my leveling palooza. During MFN on launch day, the guild concentrated on leveling. That weekend, Marcus put together an ops along with everyone gearing. Throughout the week, they've been running flashpoints to the same end. Mega this week will be Friday, November 15th at 9 p.m. Eastern, where they will do Onslaught stuff. Ops teams are looking forward to trying out the new operation, The Nature of Progress, when we get our gear levels up. But in the meantime, there is a ton to do. And B. Kavanaugh has updated the Conquest calculator for 6.0. We have it linked, his spreadsheet, in our show notes. It's also pinned in the SOTOR channel in the AIE Discord.
And in Final Fantasy XIV news, sort of a modification to the schedule for Final Fantasy XIV. On Tuesdays, the 10 p.m. Eastern MFN is casual level 80 content. Wednesdays at 10 p.m., midweek mandatory fun night, leveling and MSQ dungeon focus. Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, Extreme Savage Ultimate Night, aka Wipe Night, for progression. Sign-ups are requested, however, because they need to know who's coming and if it's going to be worth putting together a team, because that's the serious stuff. That's like the cutting-edge rating, so they want to know who's coming so they can field a team. Then on Fridays, the 10 p.m. Eastern is a all-member request. It could be MSQ, dungeon unlocks, legacy raids, old new content, fashion help, maps, the treasure maps, and whatever other content you need help with. Just reach out and ask. Patch 5.1 has hit, and a ton of new features were added for solo and group play. We do have, of course, the new MSQ bits, including there's a brand new dungeon called the Grand Cosmos, very cool dungeon. There is a new 24-person raid it's inspired, or actually it's kind of continuing the story of Nier Automata. It's called The Copied Factory. The raid will be a future event at MFN coming soon, and everyone thinks it's awesome. They also opened up Hades Extreme. It's available for high-end raiders. This is definitely cutting-edge stuff. Like it's painful. It's difficult. It's kind of between Eden Savage 2 and 3. Eden Savage is still the 8-man stuff, and Hades is what they call a trial. So it's just one boss, so it's very hard. Basically. There is a new Beast Tribe to do daily quests for. You get to work with the Fae over in their new zone over in the first. It's actually a very, very good way of getting experience for your alts, because it's scaling from level 70 to 80. It's that new tech where as long as you're in a low, high enough level to be in the expansion, it doesn't matter what level you are, you can do whatever you want. So you can level your alt classes up. There is a new performance instruments. I think they put some horns in, so you're probably going to hear a lot more music in the game from all the bards. Nice. As they say, time to get the band back together. Mm-hmm. And they've added some syncing for the music too, so it should sound a lot better too. There is a new fellowship system. These special groups are 1,000 members high. The link shells can't go anywhere near that, so you're going to see fellowships pop up a lot more. They allow for cross-server communications, polls, post discussions, and announcements. It kind of sounds like the guild system, but it's multi-server, which is pretty cool. If you want to get invited, drop by in the Discord Final Fantasy XIV channel to get an invite. It's not server or FC member dependent, so if you're not on Crystal in the Goblin data server like we are, you can still join the fellowship. That way you can still participate in what we're doing, so you can still feel like you're part of the guild even though you're not on the exact server. But you do have to be on the data center, so you need to be on Crystal at the very least.
Awesome. All right, in STO news, Jamhadar Veteran rewards are now available to lifetime subscribers. This includes a Jamhadar Vanguard Heavy Destroyer. And by the way, speaking of lifetime subscription, those subscriptions are on sale through November 21st. They are $100 off, so it's currently $199.99. That is a steal. Also, until November 14th, you can create Gamma Recruits again. This gives you added rewards for meeting various goals. The rewards are account-wide for most of them. And just a reminder, Black Friday is coming soon. So if you have your heart set on a ship or something else in the C-store, every year there are sales around that time. It's, if you want to go and buy more ships than you know what to do with.
And also in space, in EVE news, settled for the most part in their temporary home. Sounds like the Coalition will be moving again at the end of the year to their new temporary permanent home because it's EVE and they're murder hobos. Sounds like a new Coalition, maybe a reality. OPSEC, maybe? Speaking of EVE, or those who play EVE, Huck's daughter is currently in labor, so he's going to be a first-time grandpa. Sounds like Grandpa Huck's going to need some ISK to buy some diapers.
Ooh. And back down to ground in Guild Wars 2, the new build template system has arrived, so be sure to log in and claim the free build slot expansion and revive orb from the gem store. It's uncertain how long the free boost will remain there, so there's some complaints about how things are happening with ArenaNet, and that's kind of a common thing with them. Surprise. Apparently there's some triple monetization scheme going on, but they're taking feedback under consideration, so take that with what you will.
Wait, nerds on the internet complaining about this?
Yeah.
We don't do that. Ever.
And in case you haven't finished the achievements yet, the Running Shadows of the Mad King Halloween events are ending November 5th at around noon Pacific time, so jump in for those. And also from the last ArenaNet live stream, we've been told the first chapter of the Ice Brood saga, Whisper in the Dark, is due for release on November 19th.
Awesome. Okay, and in LOTOR news, the Minutes Morgul expansion was pushed back and is scheduled to be released on November 5th. The Heaven's Math was also extended through November 11th. SNL is still going great from 7:30 to 9:30. Max time on the Land Rover server. All right, guys, so that's our news. Kenny, what's going on Elder Scrolls and anything else you guys are up to?
All right, well, in Elder Scrolls, the Dragonhold DLC patch launched October 21st. That's the final segment of the Season of the Dragon piece with the new zone, new main and side, and definitely some nice base game improvement. It did cause a little bit of drama with some of the changes made to characters. A lot of the people that could do epic DPS can do slightly less epic DPS. But the skill changes were not overly bad in my opinion, and as usual, whenever Bethesda does something like this, or ZOS because it's ESO, they will allow you to reset your skills for free for the first week after the patch, in case there's something you want to change because of what they did. So that was a nice benefit for those of us that did need to make a few changes. The Dragon Guard quest lines that came are super fun. We went through that area at the prologue quest. It was just interesting to go through. Wasn't a lot of combat, but it was definitely a lot of story that explains some more about the Dragon Guard, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, but yeah, definitely. So for mandatory fun, though, what we've been doing is the Witches Festival that's going on right now. And it's the Halloween event in game, and they actually extended it by an extra week due to some server. So the last two MFNs have involved killing dragons, running through delves, public dungeons, picking up skulls, and getting loot. All fun options.
And not just any skulls, those special golden skulls that contain plans and pieces of furniture and possibilities of getting tickets to buy better stuff.
Ooh.
Fancy.
And also with the extension of the Witches Festival, you get more time to buy the single best house in the entire game, which is the Witches Covenant.
Nice.
And that one is really cool to decorate all spooky and witch-like.
I bet, yeah.
I would hope so.
And lots of room for a garden. Lots of room for a garden. And even a small area in the back where you can put fish.
Perfect.
Because fish are important.
Right, of course, yes.
Any game you can fish in is a game for Sparrow.
The game Sparrow is playing in.
Absolutely.
Pretty much, yeah. So right now, because of the recent patch and the Witches Festival, there's a little bit of a lull in new stuff going on, which to be expected. The new content so it came out for PC on the 21st, but for PlayStation and Xbox, it came out November 5th. Or it comes out. So not much in the way of news beyond that for ESO right now.
Makes sense. They need to catch up.
There is that other game we could talk about if you wanted to talk about that other game.
You guys are pretty involved in another game right now.
There may have been a falling out.
Well, they're fine, you know.
Go for it, Sparrow.
Oh yeah. Have you been looking at the Fallout First stuff at all?
Absolutely.
I believe Sparrow had it within an hour of announcement, and I had it within like 4 hours of announcement.
Right.
Well, then I would be curious to ask then how has the reception been? Because I hear that you have a mandatory icon on your head now. And
It's not mandatory.
oh, it's not? Okay, good. That's at first I heard it was mandatory, but maybe they were either wrong or they walked it back, because apparently those that do show it off, they get some interesting reactions from non-first people.
In all honesty, what occurs in the script, the conversation worlds, the social media, is totally different than what's happening in the game.
Oh yeah.
I run with my Fallout First stuff on. I put my special camp up wherever I feel like. Never had a bit of problem. Usually people just want to run by and use my stash box.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird dichotomy between the conversations that occur within the social media versus what's actually happening within the game.
Right.
And I've actually learned that like the supposed official Fallout 76 fan Reddit, for example, you don't go there. That's actually the official fan hating Reddit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because that's all they complain about now is anyone that has first is killing this game, and yeah, it's a very negative place. So I just kind of stopped paying attention to them, and have found another one. I think it's called Filthy Casual Fallout 76. And
Yeah, that's the one I tend to read too.
and that's like they're actually like talking about playing and enjoying the game, which I know is a weird thing for social media to talk about enjoying and playing a game, but they do that there, and it's like, oh, hey, I can actually see how people are responding to things. That, you know, is this worth getting? Because honestly, I too have been thinking about getting first, just because of not only that, just being able to have a server to myself and my friends when we jump online. That sounds
it's a
interesting.
game changer.
Yeah,
We've been playing quite a bit with the private servers, just the 4 or 5 of us that are from AIE that come on and play. And it's really relaxing, but when you're doing the larger events and you want to have that 20 person taking out White Spring currently for those who play, and blowing cars, it's really still very comfortable to walk into a public server, wave, and go blow stuff up.
Oh yeah.
yeah, because they're definitely like, especially even when you're doing like what the heck are they called, the Scorch Beasts, like. The regular ones you can handle with a small group, but if you're doing the what is it, the
Queen.
The Queen.
The Queen, yeah, doing the Queen, she can't be done with a small group. You need everyone on the server on her, because it's just a pain, because she's often spawning Scorch Beasts that you have to deal with, and yeah, it's pretty much chaos, but yeah, it actually would be kind of cool to have, a group of 6 to 8 people. You drop your own nuke somewhere and just go to town.
We've actually done that once. 4 of us on a private server did a nuke. We ran into a little bit of a hiccup, which it's a Bethesda game. We sort of
Yeah.
the enemies didn't spawn right away, but we discovered if one of us logged out of the server and then logged back in, it would trigger the spawn. And it worked great. So just little hiccups.
If at any point you want to try and see what a private server's like, it's pretty easy. You become a friend with either Dankinia or I on the game, and while we're in the private server, boom, you just pop.
Yep, as long as at least one person, and you can go to someone's private server, and if they log out, as long as one of the other people in your group is a first member, it'll stay up.
Awesome.
Is what I hear. So
It does.
Yeah,
and
which-
it also will give you a 20-minute warning. So if everyone with Fallout First has left the server, it will pop up a warning saying you have 20 minutes before shutdown,
yeah.
which gives you plenty of time to do whatever you need to do before you leave.
Yeah, and it's great for those times where oh hey, a Bethesda game crashed. Hold on, guys, need to log back in. If it instantly kicked everyone out, that would suck.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it gives you time to get back in, and not to mention you get back in to the same server, which is kind of mind blowing in itself. You don't get shoved into some random server like you used to back in the day. You actually get to go back and get back to the progress you were making in a certain area.
Exactly. In addition, if I, on my private server, take over a workshop, usually if I get kicked out of the game and try to go back in, I've lost that workshop. It will either revert to someone else who's on my team, or it's gone forever.
Yeah.
With the private servers, it persists.
Yes.
So if I take over that workshop, it stays in my...
Yeah, I hear that people are loving it because, especially if they need to start grinding on power cores, they'll go take over one of the power stations, and they actually keep it. Even if they get kicked off of the server for some reason, they come back. It's still creating power cores for them, which is awesome.
And those server issues are much less frequent now.
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
playing on the private server. I stayed on, and I'm almost ashamed to admit this, but I stayed on for about 12 hours last Saturday, doing other stuff, coming back to the screen, and never had a problem once.
Yeah, well, it's when you don't have 5 people over in the distant corner doing duplication. Really important game stuff. You don't have to worry about the server crashing on you. Because that was always kind of an annoyance when you're running through and all of a sudden the game starts to hitch. You're like, which one of you is doing duplication? Because you can tell that the server is trying to deal with that while you're trying to play. It's kind of annoying, but you don't have to worry about that on a private server, which is kind of awesome.
No, you don't. You also don't have to worry about whether or not your camp is going to be able to be played.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking of. Yeah, if you have a favorite spot that everyone else's favorite spot, you don't have to worry about having to server hop until you find it free because it's your own server. So of course that spot's free.
Right.
Yeah, so me, Sparrow, and the other group of regulars that play this with us, we have a little community built up. We all have access to water. We have a gorgeous view. All of our houses are within sight.
Yeah, because you can create the thing that they kept claiming you can do where you can have one continuous city when you have a bunch of players playing together.
Yeah, we have a gated community with a lake. It had to have a lake.
Of course
it
I'd
had
have
to
a
have a
lake.
lake.
Sparrow's on.
Yeah.
So, explain to me, and this is where I get lost. So, Sparrow, you have the Fallout First, as does Kenny. So, does that get you your own private server, or just get you access to the private servers?
I guess I can explain it from a technical aspect. It's essentially when he starts up and says that he wants to do his private server, it's essentially spinning up his private AWS server.
Right.
That it's his own. It's a smaller one because it's only 8 players, but that's his brand new instance. At first, there was a bug where it kept reusing old ones, but it's supposed to be a brand new instance for you. It's not used. It's supposed to be. It's essentially pristine. And then he starts it up, and then anyone that is his friend can then join him, depending on the settings you have set. And they're in this private world. And then, sorry, Sparrow, you can continue.
No, you explained it perfectly. And if I want to have my private world running and Keeney's got hers running over there, we're not in the same world. We've got 2 separate private worlds going, but generally we'll play together. So if she's on first, I'll jump onto hers. Likewise, if I'm on first. And like you were mentioning, with it being your own little private server, the resources are easier to get because you don't have, I don't know, however many thousands of people are server bouncing to get those resources.
Yes.
Right.
Makes it a lot easier.
No, I was just curious because I know with Minecraft Realms, you just need one person to buy the server and it's running continuously. But then if you've given people access to it, they can log in even if you're not online. So that's why
they're not doing that. Yeah, they're definitely not doing that because I think that would be too expensive for them.
Right.
because it's AWS.
Yeah.
And that was one of the curiosities that we had when it first was announced was, are we going to be able to whitelist people? Is this going to be a persistent server? How does it work? It's more like
Right.
buying an instance.
Yeah.
Buying a timeshare. You're buying a server timeshare that you don't get to keep it. Like once you log out, that's gone. But
Yeah, and I know a lot of people were saying that the cost is not worth the value, but personally, I find the cost definitely worth the value.
Yeah.
Being able to play in a private world with my friends where I don't have to worry about people trying to take a workshop that I have
Yeah.
or coming up behind me and grabbing something that I'm there to. It makes a way less stressful playing environment.
Well, you're able to play with your friends, and you're able to play with the people you want to play
Yeah.
with without having to deal with, people
griefers.
being jerks just to be jerks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I will say the jerks are not as prevalent as they used to be, even in the public world. Like the event that we've been running for the past few days is one of the most popular spots in the game to have a nuke drop.
Mhm.
I've only had that happen once
Great.
in probably the 40 times I've run.
That's
That's
good.
good.
Yeah, because that's in White Springs, and White Springs is a great place to spawn the really high-level stuff, but it's also where the trick-or-treating happens.
Right.
Yeah. And in order to get any of the good rewards from the trick-or-treating, you have to be in a costume, not power armor. So if they nuke it, you don't
Yeah,
get the
you're-
good reward.
Yeah.
It's been a lot more of people doing resurrections and saves for each other in that than it has been any sort of griefing. And back on the private instance thing, that is one of the things is you don't have to worry about the guy who spent all of his time duping into having all of the best PvP gear,
Yeah.
waiting for you to take a workshop in one shot.
Yeah. Those people that are leaving traps so that they can get you flagged for PvP and then wipe you out and take your loot.
Right.
Exactly. And unlimited stash storage for your
Yeah.
crafting materials.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Just
server
like
thing
ESO.
is. Yeah, let's just say is that the server thing is just one aspect of first.
For
Yeah, the-
people that suffer from inventory management issues,
Kitty.
Sparrow,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
it's amazing.
Anyone in a Fallout game.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you collect everything. You know,
Yeah.
you're picking up toilet paper rolls and magic machine gun.
Yep. Yep, and that and not to mention that's also not including that you get the free Atom money for being a first subscriber too, and you get a free NCR Ranger outfit, which is pretty cool. Which is also
It
kind
is
of
amazing.
it's a great costume, and I kind of hope that they make it available to everyone to buy later because. As of right now, only the first people can get it, which is kind of a way to flag yourself as first, even if you don't have the icon on your head. If they see an NCR Ranger, they know, oh, that's a first person. But it's such like that look is such an iconic look that it's great that they were able to bring it in.
And even having spent money on it, it would not bother me even a little bit if they just decided one day that, hey, it's NCR Ranger Day, everybody gets the costume. I think
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's an iconic look. It's part of the game, even if
Yeah,
it doesn't
that
make
is-
sense for it to be out here yet.
Actually, they changed the lettering on it a little.
Oh, did they?
It's not NCR, it's Charleston.
Oh, so they kind of slightly
changed the
retconned it.
patch. Yeah, they
Yeah.
changed the patch.
Interesting. I was wondering how they were justifying that because because Fallout. For those not familiar with how things are going, Fallout 76 is like at the beginning of the time after the nukes dropped, and so then when the NCR's happening is a bit further along the line. So that shouldn't have been able to make it over to West Virginia yet.
But yeah, I think it's Charleston Tactical Ranger or something like that is what the initials are supposed to stand for. Which makes sense because there would have been a police force, like a SWAT type police force in Charleston anyway. That's the city or the capital for West Virginia.
Yeah.
But
I've
yeah,
been
just like with what ESO did with the subscription giving crowns in ESO, it does do atoms in Fallout 76, and it's all cosmetic, which is
That's nice.
Yeah.
And it's the atoms you get is actually the value of what you spend on the subscription.
Like if you're going to buy atoms, which arguments aside, if you were going to buy atoms, you might as well have gotten first. Just like in
Yeah.
ESO. In ESO, if you're going to buy the currency, you should probably have plus. because you're getting pretty much the same amount.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I mean, that's why I was kind of surprised at people railing against First, because it's exactly ESO plus.
Yeah.
Like almost down to almost every part of it. It is ESO plus.
Yeah.
And you get a private server. Like, you don't get a private ESO server.
Again, nerds whining about things on the internet.
Yeah.
Well,
There's something about 2018 and 19. 2019 has been the year of the game whiner. I don't know
Yeah.
where that came from.
Oh, I know exactly where it came from.
Well, I know too, but we probably don't want to discuss that.
Yeah, let's not. That is not that kind of show.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to mention it's the Twitch and the YouTubers, the ones that, you know, the angry reaction.
Yeah.
people. That's what's driving the culture right now. So,
Yep.
unfortunately,
Yep.
Our happy little world has been infected with rage culture, but we'll
Exactly.
get that.
But we have ways around it, and that's why we play with people that we enjoyed playing with.
Yes.
yeah.
Which is my
Welcome to
favorite.
AIE.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah. That's why there's a community.
And that's the number one thing that I'm happy about First existing is for AIE. I've been waiting since 76 came out for the chance to make it easier to just play with AIE members, because we know that we're a great community and we would help each other and have fun together, and it wouldn't be, you know, a competition like it is when you're otherwise
Right.
playing the game.
The general public.
Yeah.
yeah, if you or anybody else in AIE wants to see what the private server world is like, send me a request, send Sparrow a request. We'll let you.
Awesome.
And you can
Awesome.
find them in Discord.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And on Twitter.
Yeah.
I really prefer the hashtag Where's Kenny.
Which I've used it a few times when I'm live streaming too.
Awesome.
Kenny, you know where my favorite time to use that hashtag is?
Either in the morning before Starbucks or when I've forgotten you in the elevator lobby.
Yup.
Yeah. Which is-
Where's Kenny? At her desk. Where am I?
Yeah.
Waiting for her.
Yeah, that's gonna bring on a whole new. Is there a Starbucks at the new location? Do you know?
No.
Not within walking distance.
But
No.
we get free coffee. We're gonna find out on Thursday.
Awesome.
Yep. New building on Thursday for us, which means Wednesday is our last day at our current building. Our last Where's Kenny Starbucks walk.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Thank you. To give history, Kenny has been in that building for 22 years. I've been in that building for 21 years. We
Yep.
have spent our adult working life in that building.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, Wednesday is our last day, and it's going to be weird.
Very weird.
Yeah. So before we go, I do have one question, because I think you and I kind of gave our take on it, but I want to know, Kenny, Sparrow, did you guys watch BlizzCon at all? Did you at least read up on the news? What was your overall impression of what came out of BlizzCon this year?
I'm going to jump in first.
Do it.
Go ahead.
Do it. Feet first,
I-
dude.
I watched every single cinematic. I did not do the virtual ticket, but I watched all the cinematics. And just for a little history, I've been out of WoW since this expansion.
Right. Like a lot of people.
But they're drawing me back in.
There's a lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah.
The direction that they're taking with Sylvanas, at first I was a little iffy about it because I don't like what they've done with her character. That's just my opinion.
Right.
But after I gave it some thought, walked away from for a minute and came back, I thought this is the kind of thing that could pull me back into the game.
Yeah.
These 4 different factions that give me an opportunity to play the personality of my character within those areas is perfect, because what I didn't like about this last expansion was the pigeonholing into one
Yeah.
thought process, essentially.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't have the class order hall because that lets you
Yeah.
explore your class, and they went. That was the thing. They built that all the way up in Legion,
And then let
and
it die.
then just dropped it
Yep.
in a hot minute in BFA, and they're like, oh, people didn't like that. Maybe we should go back to that. So
Yeah. Well, they basically went class order halls. Okay, let's go down to 2 factions. Oh, is that
Yeah.
too narrow? Okay, let's find something in the middle and do about the middle size of that. So 4 places to go.
yeah,
My paladin can be a paladin again, and I didn't feel like my paladin could be a paladin with the horde that existed.
Right. So
Yeah.
I take it he's going to be hanging out in Bastion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that yeah, it's interesting that the 4 new factions are essential, and they kind of talked about this too, that they're going back to your class and not your spec.
Right.
Right.
Well, it read a lot like D&D alignments. Like you
Yes.
can be lawful good, you can be neutral good, you can play in a different style that's not at all pigeonholed, and there's an environment for you that will nurture that and give you a place to be that person in the game.
Yep.
And I love.
Yeah,
Or-
exactly.
Or you can
And
just
that-
go cuddle some owls.
Yeah.
They're
And
cute.
that endless runner tower just looks like that's going to be a lot of fun.
Final Fantasy did it first.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I mean-
basically, as I watched them talk about all the new stuff coming to oh geez, I've even forgotten the name of the stupid thing now.
Shadowlands.
Shadowlands,
Shadowlands?
because every time they said something, Shadowbringers. That thing,
Right.
Shadowbringers. That thing, oh, it's a Shadowbringers. Oh, that thing. And in fact, the zones that they described are in Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
There's a fairy zone. There's a dark, mysterious zone. There's a sort of a more there's a deserty area. Like it's just. I was just kind of amused, and then they showed the endless tower. It's
Right.
like, huh, that's interesting. Like, yeah, it's always funny to see the two of them take off from each other. Like
Right.
one of them comes up with an interesting idea, and then the other one says, "You know what? I like that idea. Let's make our version of it."
Yeah. Yeah.
But
What about you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
last one, and then I'll be quiet. The,
You're fine.
Please talk.
the entire Gothic zone that they've done.
Oh,
I looked at that,
Yes.
and all I could see was my favorite part of D&D was Ravenloft. They put
Yes.
Ravenloft
Oh,
into
so
WoW.
Yep.
Raven. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
My favorite dungeon in EverQuest was the Castle Mistmore, the vampiric castle. So, yeah, that's. I'm looking at the 4 zones, and I'm really. It's funny because certain characters, like you said, the paladin, I know exactly what covenant they're going to go with.
Mm-hmm. Druids
But-
are going to be playing with the Fae.
Druids are going Night Fae. I mean, that's almost, But like my warrior, I don't know. It's going to be, I want to go through and meet the personalities before I decide. There isn't one that just says that's where my warrior as a warrior would go.
I actually kind of had a thought about that, and that is it Bastion, the one that where all the Valkyr are?
Yes.
That's basically the warrior class hall.
It is a little bit, but I already did the warrior class
Yeah.
order hall. So,
So you don't want to revisit?
no, I was looking at I think it's Revendeth, which is the Gothic one, and they're supposed to be more of the warriors, either that or Maldrexis, I forget which, are supposed to be the warriors or the protectors of the area. So I might go there as well. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about you, Kenny?
So I didn't see a lot of the BlizzCon stuff. I did see the Diablo 4 trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. And yet, some of the stuff with WoW looks interesting. The fact that they are going to do the squish, you're going from 50 to 60, and it's definitely going to be more alt-friendly.
Yes.
And while I am not a person that plays a lot of alts, I'm
Warlock
married
for
to
life.
someone who does.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, how does Elkarth feel about all this?
And he hasn't been playing much WoW recently, sort of like Sparrow, some of
Right.
the Shine and Drift. But he was saying he sort of likes what he sees.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants the fun to come back, and I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I still have fun in the game, but I have fun in the game because of the events that I lead, the people I do
Right.
things.
Right.
I stopped grinding for flying ages ago because that was boring for me. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, it definitely pandered to those that were actively playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's something I'm actually kind of curious because I didn't see them mention it anywhere. But another thing that someone pointed out is, what about all the allied races? Someone that's going to be coming back because this new way of doing things looks interesting because now it's not so daunting. You're not doing 120 levels to catch up to your friends.
Right.
but they still can't be one of the allied races because those require a rep unlock.
Yeah,
So
they haven't said anything on that. They did say that what they did say was that the DKs and the Demon Hunters will be starting at level 1.
Right.
So they're not going to be the hero class starting at 58 or 98 anymore. But they did say the allied races will be starting at
20.
At 20.
Well, actually, it'll be 10.
They said 20, but I don't know if they accounted for that in the level squish, but they'll be starting after their Seema says 10
yeah,
as well.
I think Ian did say 10 in one of the later panels.
Yeah, which makes sense because you've been through the starting area. Just put them in 10 and go 10.
Yep.
So
because that's the one thing that I haven't seen anyone ask. I haven't seen anyone answer. Is what about all these allied races that who's going to go back to especially when they're having you stay in one expansion. You'll never go and get the rep for one of the allied races you might want to play if you don't go to that special expansion. If you don't go do Legion, you're not going to get the Light Draenei or the Madgar Orcs. If you don't do the current expansion, you're not going to get the Trolls or the big humans, the Kultirans.
Kultirans. Yeah. And my thing that I think they didn't bring up because they don't have an answer for it is I've put at least 500,000 gold into heirlooms. So because the leveling is supposed to be 60 to 70% faster than it is now.
Well, yeah, because
are you going to get benefit from that?
Well, no. Are they going to just keep the heirlooms for leveling gear, but take the XP off of it?
That's a good question.
Or, are they going to go this heirloom set works from 10 to 20, this one goes 20 to 30, this one goes 30, like that? Are they going to have 4 levels in the leveling area again, or what are they going to do with it? Because they can't just toss out a whole system
that we paid a lot of money on,
that we've invested a lot of gold into, because they've done a level squish. So that was my other outstanding question I had.
Yeah, because it's got to be fast, because if you're doing one expansion from 10 to 50, that was normally 10 levels worth of content. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's at least 4 times faster,
right?
If not more. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else, guys?
I think that's it for me.
Don't give me the time.
Right. All right. Well, that is our show for tonight. Where the chat room begins suggesting titles. Dankinia and Sparrow, thank you so much for joining us. And where can we find you guys on the interwebs?
Well, I can be found on Twitter at Dankinia, DANKINI. Also Twitch, Dankinia. And of course in Discord as well.
Pretty much everywhere I am Sparrowhawk1 with an E and the number 1.
Awesome.
And I will accept friend invites from any AIE members who want to try out the Fallout.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Same.
Cool.
Wonderful.
I'm at Dankinia pretty much everywhere too.
All right. If you have a question or comment about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can also follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Mew is at the Mew Cow. McCullough is at Cyberwave. And I am at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us on our website, aie-guild.org, and our Discord server, aie-guild.info/Discord, all lowercase. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, keyswithsoul.com.
And now it's time to play an awesome AIE member segment from X Buxley, which I can never say correctly for some reason. Ask Buxley. There we go.
You go.
And in 2 weeks, we're going to be talking to, someone about some game that AIE plays in. And just a show note, or programming note, December 1st will be our last show for the year, so it will be our year-end wrap-up. So, until in 2 weeks from now, train of thought just derailed. So until then, AIE, this is McCullough.
This is Tetsemi.
This is Bukow.
And this has been the AIE Podcast.
Yay. Right at the end, McCullough.
Yeah, it's like, wow. I chose to go off script, and then like, how did I get back? How?
Help me
What the
get
hell,
back
Nikki?
on script.
Yep, you started exploring the woods and you just got lost.
Yeah.
I got distracted by something.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Sparrow. That was awesome.
Yes, thank you much.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I enjoy it every time.
Yes.
Always thank you.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
Yep, and please don't feel like you're being a pest by talking because we want you to talk.
Exactly.
We,
Yep.
we talk too much. I know I especially talk too much, and we want you to talk more.
Now, we may have to have words about this best Fallout expansion comment.
Speaking of which, have you tried the Outer Worlds?
Not yet, but I'm going to. It looks pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's
Put about an hour into it, and I definitely want to play it some.
It's Fallout in space. I know everyone says stop saying that, but I can't. It's Fallout in space. It's the makers of Fallout New Vegas did Fallout in space, and they're using some Mass Effect stuff. They're using characters from Firefly and characters from Futurama, and they're running amok in space. Yeah, this is not the exact ones, of course, but it's the character archetypes that they're smashing together are literally those characters from those shows, and it's just great to play.
Yeah, lots of Firefly vibes, lots of Fallout vibes with some of the skills.
Yeah.
Which
the important
makes
question
sense.
is, though, is there fishing?
I have not.
I'm sure you could make
fishing
it up
yet.
with the dynamite and, a lake.
Absolutely.
Right.
There's plenty of water.
You get spaceships.
There's lots of fish, and you do get a spaceship.
I'm in.
There you go.
Get a spaceship that has a little bit of an attitude.
Yes,
Right.
it does.
Ooh, I like that one better.
Is there fishing?
All right, I know what I'm buying next week.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's been great so far. I was playing it last night, and it suddenly was past bedtime. So it's
Great.
definitely one of those games.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think we have our show title. Is there fishing?
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, chat room. We're going to take off because for everyone else, this is normal time. For us poor Phoenicians, it's an hour later, and we're
Yeah.
hungry.
Oh my god.
So,
Hey,
Right.
Kenny, don't worry. D&D is not shifted an hour.
yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no. Because we're all here, so.
Enjoy.
All right. Yeah. Talk to you guys later.
All right.
Good night.